Go tell your friends about it. Go tell your friends about it.
Good morning, guys. It's JT here, and here are my takeaways from today's UWM Sales Huddle. Number one, privilege. Let's talk about privilege in a world of entitlement. You've got to see it as a privilege by you working with anyone, okay? Experienced real estate agent, non-experienced real estate agent. See it as a privilege, especially if the referral source, let's just talk about the referral source here, because I want this video to cater to all entrepreneurs. But let's talk about the referral source, okay? Especially if the referral source is new in the business. Because think about it, see it this way, okay? There's a lot of people in any walk of life or in any business that have been doing a business for a very long time. And so once you've been doing this for more than 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you kind of think of yourself, well, okay, I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm only going to be working with X, Y, and Z referral partners. But look, the privilege comes in, and it is your privilege as a loan officer to be working with a new agent, because you have the opportunity to build that referral source, that real estate agent, to the point where they are a successful referral source, a resourceful real estate agent. Think about this. Imagine if you take the time to meet with them, to grab a cup of coffee with them, to talk about their goals, to talk about their aspirations, and then you come up with a business plan. Think about how grateful that referral source, that real estate agent is going to be of you 6 months, 6 years down the line after they are successful. I will tell you that every single successful real estate agent had a day one. Every single successful referral source had a day one. We all started from zero. We all started somewhere. That is what I mean, that it is a privilege to be working with someone, especially that is new in the business. Remember that every top agent had a day one. So did you. Number two, entitlement. We just talked about privilege. Now let's talk about entitlement. No one likes anyone with an entitlement mentality. I've been around the block quite some time, so I've dealt with my fair share of people that are entitled. You as a loan officer or you as a salesperson have a referral source. You get the referral and you believe that that person that was referred to you ought to work with you for X, Y, and Z reason. Maybe because he was referred to you by a warm contact, by a family, a friend. Think about this, okay? You take the referral for granted. And so you don't do what you're supposed to. You don't give them the presentation. You don't go the extra mile. Why? Because you feel entitled, because they were referred to you by a family, by a past client. So you take them for granted. But here is what I would challenge you. Here's my recommendation. I challenge you to think the following. I challenge you that every single lead that comes to you, you ought to see it as if though that lead was meant for you to lose. You have received that lead because it is meant for you to lose it. Challenge yourself to think about that, okay? So that means that it is your obligation to do everything within your power to earn it. Why? Because you are in a seat of privilege where you've got the privilege of working with that referral source. Now you've got to shine. Now you've got to do your part. Last week, I did a video on where I went up 3rd Street Promenade and there was a young lady performing. She was about 13, 15 years old. She was exposing herself, right? She could have been doing what 13, 15-year-olds do during the summer, but no, she put herself out there. So how it relays to us is whenever we meet with the client, whenever we're talking to that referral source, that has shine. So don't take it for granted. Understand that it is a privilege to be working with that client. Get rid of that entitlement feel. Earn everything. Nothing better than that. Hope you found that of value. Number 3, the presentation. The presentation is the game. The presentation is everything. The first impression is everything. Now, number 1 was we talked about privilege. Number 2, we talked about entitlement. And then last but not least, let's talk about the presentation. Oftentimes, you're going to catch yourself losing a lot of business, or oftentimes you're going to catch yourself on defense a lot of the times if your presentation was not up to par. Now, I'll give you an example, okay? If your presentation consists of the whole buying process, or if your presentation talks about the whole insurance process, but you don't talk about the rate. Well, guess what? The rate's pretty important, but you didn't tackle it in your presentation. So guess what? The question's going to come up about the rate, and you didn't cover it. So guess what? Now you're going to be on defense. I was in a presentation a good week ago, and one of my takeaways from that presentation was that any questions that come up after your presentation are leaks. Leaks in your business that you ought to go back and look as to why these questions continue to come up. Did I not cover my presentation? Did I not do a good job breaking them down? And once you identify that and you come up with the great way to present or a great way to be on offense, Jesus Christ, the rest is history. And I'll tell you that the future will look bright. Well, ended with this, okay? As a sales professional, as a mortgage professional, I have a presentation that I personally have composed myself. And it is a presentation of experience of years combined in the business of questions that the consumer asks, different types of mortgages, the process, terms, FAQs, you name it. If you would like to receive a copy of my presentation, please do me a huge favor. Go ahead on the comment section down below, type in the word presentation. Be sure that I have your information. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure I get your email address or your phone number. I'll send it right over to you. If you're on Instagram, then just go ahead and type in, or just go ahead and type in the word presentation, and I'll DM you the presentation. Okay, guys, I hope you found this of value. These are JT's takeaways from today's UWM Sales Huddle. Let's go out there and let's dominate.